welcome to the welcome to the 3S Yoga channel. I'm Annie Peace here with Nadia, and we're going to do a really gentle on the mat practice, just a little short one to make your day better, maybe at the beginning of the day, maybe to calm down at the end of the day, just whenever you need a little peace, little ease in your body. That's what this practice is for. And if you look just below, in the description, you will see that you can subscribe to our channel, and we'd love to have you. If you feel moved to donate, there's a link there as well. And do enjoy the practice. And let us know if you have wishes for other things, other practices that would benefit you, or questions. So for this practice, a mat or even just a comfortable place on the floor is good, enough space to move. And we can start out seated, however is comfortable for you. So really taking some time to get comfortable. If you know your knees tend to be up a little bit, you can just kind of lengthen how you sit or take some support. Sometimes sitting on a rolled blanket can feel really good. So make sure you really are comfortable here. We'll be mostly seated. And from here we can let the eyes be closed or soft, bringing the gaze inward, just bringing some awareness to the breath. Sometimes I bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. So I can really feel the breath as it moves, bringing the breath down from the shoulders into the heart and the ribs all around, into the abdomen and into the low back. Just beginning to slow down the breath. Let go of the day. Start to center the mind. And just bringing a gentle, calm awareness to the body, noticing how the toes are doing and the soles of the feet, the calves, the knees, the hamstrings and the glutes. Noticing the legs on the two sides, how they're feeling. Bringing awareness to the belly and the low back, and if you want, you could let the hands rest wherever they're comfortable. Just bringing the heart forward, circling over to one side, to the other. Just exploring the connection between the hips and the low back and the abdomen, noticing how everything's feeling. And if there's an area that's a little stiff or still or stuck, we can bring more breath there, give it more time. Just let the body be easy. Coming back to your stillness, stacking up the spine toward the sky. It might feel good to roll out the shoulders, so bring the shoulders up, down the back, forward. Just finding some nice circles. They don't need to be big circles. They don't need to be the same on the two sides. It might feel good to go backwards, so down, back, up and forward. Just noticing how the shoulders want to move today. Maybe on your last breath here, bringing the shoulders up, holding on an exhale, letting the shoulders drop. And checking in with the hands, making sure the hands are happy. We could interlace the fingers, just find a nice interlace, and find a little wobble here, making sure the fingers and the wrists feel really good. And finding then the opposite interlace, which can feel surprisingly different. Again, making sure the hands feel good, shaking them out. Maybe bringing the hands down by the sides, and we'll just move with the breath, letting the breath fill the belly and the low back, the ribs as we rise up, inhaling up. Letting the breath be expansive on your exhale out and down. Inhaling up. Exhaling out and down. One more time, rising up. One more time, releasing the hands down. We can let your right hand land by the side on an inhale, letting the left side get super duper long on your exhale, just drifting over to the right, letting the left hip be heavy, breathing into the side ribs and into the low back. Inhale, rising up. On your exhale, dropping over to your left, Now bringing the breath into the right side, into the ribs, and into the space between the ribs and the hip. On your inhale, rising up and just finding some miscellaneous movement, little stretches, noticing how the shoulders are doing and the low back. On an exhale, we could fold forward, letting the hands land, letting the back just turtle down, letting the back of the neck be long. And if you want, going for a walk over to your right, letting the left hip be heavy. Walking over to the left, letting the right hip be heavy. Just exploring, being curious about the body, enjoying moving. You could find a longer stretch by walking the hands forward, tenting the fingers perhaps. And on an inhale, rising up, getting long and tall, lifting the heart. Swinging the hands behind the back. Next inhale lifts the heart. Nice back bend here. Rising up. And if your legs were crossed, we're just going to cross the other way. These subtle changes can feel really different as we move. Again, rising up tall, and on an exhale, just going for a walk. Maybe getting a little deeper into the opposite hip this time. Maybe walking forward for just a long, stretchy stretch. On your inhale, rising up, lifting the heart, swinging the hands behind the back. Next inhale, lifts the heart even more. Throat can be long, face soft. Rising up. Checking in with the hands and wrists, making sure that anytime they carry weight, they're happy afterward. So here we can open the legs nice and wide. And the toes could point up or away. It would be good to point them somewhere so that the joints of the legs are supported. Taking a moment here to notice how the sits bones are feeling, finding a nice evenness here. And on an inhale, we can rise up tall. On an exhale, folding some, but not as far as you could. Landing the hands. And again, we're just going to go for a walk. To the right, to the left. Noticing how the low back's feeling. How are the hips? And if you want, as you reach the right leg, you could just open up the left side. And as you reach the left leg, you could just open up the right side. Breathing into the side ribs, breathing into the low back, and just exploring. Coming back to your center. On an inhale, rising up. And this time as you exhale, folding, maybe walking the hands forward, finding a deeper stretch, noticing how everything's feeling. One more nice breath here. On your inhale, rising up. And on an exhale, spinning the hands back, just allowing the heart to rise up, almost effortless. Breathing into the front ribs, creating a little more space in the front of the shoulders. Rising up. So we can bring the soles of the feet together. Coming into cobbler's pose, stacking the spine up high, letting that be the only work here. 3 nice steady breaths. Maybe sliding the feet out a little further. And we're going to move into deer pose. Really nice gift for the low back and hips. So the right knee continues to point to the side. We can pour weight into the right hip. The left knee now points forward. So the left hip's going to be light. It should be. The weight's largely in the right hip. Taking a moment here to rise up nice and tall. And this could be your deer pose. Now, if you're feeling curious and you've enjoyed moving so far, you might walk down and just see, again, how's the body feeling? Is there a place you might like to drop into? Would you like to keep exploring or drop down? And if you find a place you like, we'll stay for 3 long breaths. On an inhale, walking your way back up, bringing the soles of the feet together again, and now sending the right knee forward. So the right hip is going to be light, left hip heavy, stacking up the spine. Option to stay here or gently go for a walk. You may end up in a different spot than you did before if you want to drop down. If you have a pillow or a cushion or a blanket, you could also bring the floor up a little higher as you lean. Bringing the breath wherever it's most beneficial. And making your way back up. We'll bring the soles of the feet together just a little further out so you have this nice diamond shape. On your inhale, rising up tall. On your exhale, starting to draw the belly button in and up so it's natural to just round down. As much or as little as you want. On an inhale, rising up, exhale, draws the belly button in and up. Inhale, taller, and on your exhale, spinning back, lifting the heart. Letting the shoulders soften toward the earth, the throat be soft, the jaw, the eyes, the forehead soft. Rising up. One more shape here, several ways to do it. We'll be moving from here into a twist. So one way to get there would be to bring the left heel under the right hip and the right leg across. If that's comfortable, this feels like a good place to be, stay. The other option would be to send the left leg long and bring the right knee across. So wherever you're at, we're going to hug the knee in, rising up tall, hugging the knee in, rising up taller. And on an exhale, just turn right, bringing the right hand behind you, gaze is over the right shoulder. Coming back through center and finding the opposite side shape. So the right heel can tuck in under the left hip or extend forward. Left leg is crossing on your inhale, rising up tall. Stacking the spine on your exhale, turning left. Coming back to your center. Releasing both legs, returning to seated, or if you have time for resting shapes, you could curl onto your back and hug the knees in and splat out and have a Shavasana. And you could stay as long as you want. If you do need to get back to your day, we can close with 2 sighs, maybe a hand to the belly, hand to the heart. Big inhale, sighing it out. One more like that. Thank you for sharing practice. Rest as long as you want.